Self Expression. I'm your host, Natasha.
I'm Kisha.
And today we have our special guest here, singer-songwriter Krysti Subieta.
Yes.
So let's get started with the questions. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go?
Sure.
Okay.
So tell us about how you grew up and what brought you from Florida to Austin.
Well, I was in Florida for like 10 years and I was so over it, to tell you the truth. Not really into the beach so much, not into the lack of live music that is down in Florida. I'm kind of a mountain girl myself, so I like to go climbing. I was in Houston for a while before I moved to Florida, and I have family here in Texas, so I was like, as soon as I get the chance, I'm gonna hop on over back to Texas. And at one point, I decided to take this epic trip to the Grand Canyon over spring break. So I just got in my car and I said, I have 1 week to just drive across the U.S. and see what I like. And when I did that, I stopped in Austin and kind of fell in love with it. I just was like, wow, there's like rivers and like lakes and places to really good rocks to climb. I felt like there was a ton of musicians here, and I just felt like, wow, as soon as I get done with college, I'm gonna just hop on over to Austin and see what happens.
In your biography, it's mentioned that your family and friends describe you as an old soul. Do you see yourself that way?
Yeah, well, so that's a fun question. I think that the old soul comes from feeling like I get along really well with my teachers growing up and like kind of the older generation of people, and I just was very curious and absorbed a lot of wisdom from like the older generation, and like just people my age I kind of had a hard time getting along with. So I think that when older people would talk to me, they would just be like, wow, you like sound a lot older than you are, and I'm not like saying that, oh, I am this wise person, but I just was always described that way because, sometimes it was negative. Sometimes people were like, you're a grandma. Like so old-fashioned in a lot of ways. But I don't think that I would say I'm old-fashioned, but I do think that I like certain habits and like certain traditions that I think have been kind of lost, particularly like certain Native American traditions I have researched into, and I like jive really well with those types of things. So.
Okay. And I'm wondering something. You brought up Native American. Is that a part of your culture?
Well, I think that there's like Native South American in my heritage, but I don't know if it's necessarily part of like my upbringing. It's more of like research that I've done. I was really interested in the culture, and I was really sad about how the Native Americans were kind of treated. So I just did a lot of research on their culture and what they believed in. And I'm not like an expert, but I would love to at some point go to Peru and like study shamanism. That's something that interests me.
I'm getting a sense from you, and plus reading about you too, that spirituality is really important to you. And so how does that come into play when you're performing or when you're writing? What part does it play for you?
Wow. Well, it is my inspiration and my reason for performing, really. And when people say spirituality, I want to be really clear. Sometimes they think religion, and they'll go to religious. No. Like, that is not me. So I was, just a little background, I was one of the first children to be raised Unity. It was kind of a group started in the 70s, and they would research all different types of religions and kind of find universal truths in all of them. And so you could have like a Buddhist monk coming and talking at one service, somebody Christian maybe, Hinduism. You're kind of taught to not cherry pick, but really study all of the different ways that people have described spirituality and find the universal truths that really work. And it becomes really simple when you do that. The golden rule and other like truths. So for me, spirituality is my relationship with kind of the all-encompassing universe that connects us all together.
What projects do you have right now that you are working on, or you just finished?
Oh, so, well, let's see. Projects that I'm working on?
Any music projects?
Music projects. Well, right now, the current project I'm working on is Save the Dugout. Check out the Dugout. So that...
What's that about?
So I've been... so this man, his name is Duggan, and he has just been the father of live music in Austin since as long as we can remember. Like decades. He has this awesome house, and he holds jams in it. And talk about the healing power of music that goes on in this house. I mean, like, so many people that I've interviewed, I've been doing interviews too, might ask you for some help. But they have said, this house saved my life. You know, that's such a common theme, that this house, this man, this community saved my life. Because it's just a place that you can go, and whatever kind of art you do, you can just do it there and be free, and no one's gonna judge you, and no one's gonna force you, and it's like it's a party, you know, at times, and it's not focused on drinking or drugs. Like, you know, you go to a party and some people feel very superficial. This is like everyone can just let their walls down. And I think mostly it's just because of the energy that Duggan has. He's this older guy. He's just been in the music industry forever. He knows so many people in the music industry, and he finds these artists that are struggling, and he connects them with the right people that will get along with them, and then they start making art together. So right now what I was working on that was just getting people more involved with the Dugout, getting the house updated because it's out of his house. He's got this beautiful backyard stage. He's got this tree with a stage and like a fire pit. So I've just been working on editing some videos for him and doing interviews. Some of them are musical interviews, but yeah, so that's the latest one. That is, come check out the Dugout.
Oh, that is a cool project. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah. So so since this is one of her favorite songs that she requested, we're gonna do All This Gold from Angelgrams.
Yay.
Yay. Sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough, like everything I do is wrong. When you feel your clouds around me, it takes a friend to tell me all the ways that I shine. What are we gonna do with all this gold? So much to choose from, so much to hold. We've got it all now, we get to choose. What are we gonna do with all this gold? How are we gonna share it with the world? What are we gonna do with all this gold? What are we gonna do with all this gold? It's easy to miss the forest for the trees and focus on the ones that fell. Well, I choose to believe in opportunity. What are we gonna do with all this gold? So much to choose from, so much to hold. We've got it all now, we get to choose. What are we gonna do with all this gold? How are we gonna share it with the world? I know this time will be better. Oh, I know this time will be better, better. So give me one more chance, one more chance. I'll make it better, I'll make it better. What are we gonna do with all this gold? So much to choose from, so much to hold. We've got it all now, we get to choose. What are we gonna do with all this gold? How are we gonna share it with the world? What are we gonna do with all this gold? What are we gonna do with all this gold?
Yes.
That was beautiful.
And thank you all for tuning in. And as always, thank you for watching. And remember that there are no limits when expressing your creativity.